The last element in the chain.
Okay. The last element in the chain is not the make.
Oh, good.
That's a different ballgame. What I said was, and by the way, hello everybody, welcome to Experience. We just jumped right into this, and that's just the way it goes. What I said was there was a document written 12 years ago called the 21 Rules of Tone, and the last piece of that chain has been completed. Then I followed up by saying that we have changed the pickups so that they don't have a cover anymore on a lot of our guitars, the custom 408s, the signature guitars, all that stuff. Like these, they don't have covers anymore. And so what I was explaining at the press conference was that a cover was intended, when it was put on by Gibson in the 50s, to stop electromagnetic and electrostatic noise and hum. Okay, that's what it was there to get rid of. It also has a tendency to get rid of bass and high end. Okay, and everybody knows to take the cover off and the thing sounds more open. Maybe some people like it, some people don't. Okay, but that's the way it is. We found a way to half cover the pickup. So there's a huge amount of copper that we put on this thing in other places, but it's not covered on the top. And we're getting a really beautiful big sound that's open on the top and the bottom. So these 408 pickups, the narrow fields, our new custom pickups, all this stuff is going very, very, very well for us. Now, when you take a cover off a pickup, those bobbins were never meant to see the light of day. And that was not, they were just things to wind wire on. That was not something they wanted seen. A zebra pickup, all that was never supposed to be seen. We should have a cover on it, right? So we designed these coils for if they were to see the light of day, right? So you're not seeing these huge gaps, right? And the ring looks much more like a BlackBerry, phone than it does old day pickup, right? So.
Right, and those are, just to be clear, those are cosmetic touches, just so it doesn't look so exposed and naked, but that doesn't really add to the tone, or does it?
Well, what adds to the tone is the width is wider on the treble pickup, it's narrow on this side. We changed some of the sizes, but pretty much what you said is accurate. You can make a beautiful bobbin that sounds bad. You can make a beautiful bobbin that sounds good. You can make an ugly bobbin that sounds good. You can make an ugly bobbin that sounds bad. These are intended not just look good, but sound beautiful.
Yeah.
Both.
Now, speaking of pickups, there was also some other news this morning, and you kind of portrayed it comically. This is one that you did not go gently into, not go gently into that good night, but Paul Reed Smith is now selling pickups by themselves. You're selling.
Yeah, we've been selling 5310s and 5909s for a while. And they're available. We sell them. We're still not selling 5708s, but 5909s and 5310s you can buy.
And you won't sell the 5708s. That you're going to hold on to.
I don't know that yet. It's not been announced. Look, when 20-25% of your production are a certain pickup, you're probably better off not selling them because people buy pickups instead of guitars. I know that sounds a little manipulative, but if you're buying a vet and they're not, maybe you can buy the motors separately. I don't really know. It comes with the car.
You don't really think you're losing a sale because someone will drop in some aftermarket pickups the way they would with any of these other companies? Of
course you are. They take an aftermarket pickup that we sold them, and they put them in someone else's guitar, and they're much happier with the guitar. And either it's a message that we're making really good stuff and get them more interested in buying another guitar, or they're not interested in buying a guitar again. I think it works both sides of the fence. It's not an easy equation. That's okay. We've decided to do it, and I'm comfortable with it.
Are you? Good. Let's talk about the acoustics. Who would have thought that coming into this, we're now talking in the fall of 2012, that you would be sold out of your handmade acoustics.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it's great, but were you surprised that acoustics are that big and high-end acoustics such as yours?
Yes and no and yes. Yes, because it's hard to get into this market. Yes, because of the speed at which people are starting to accept it. No, and maybe I've got my nose and my yeses backwards, but I thought that they sounded extraordinary, and it took people a long time to get used to it. I think, in a way, they were waiting to see how the early ones would hold up over time. You don't want to buy something that blows up, right? I would say it's going really well, and I'm proud of the people that have taken the risk to buy them. I'm proud of the artists that have put their names on them. I mean, for Martin Simpson and Tony McManus and Cody Kilby and Ricky Skaggs and all these guys that put their name, that's a legacy. That's like Hendrix playing a Strat, or David Grissom playing a PRS, or Carlos playing a PRS, or, Slash playing a Les Paul. I mean, it's a part of their legacy.
Right. Yeah, it's a real seal, a real imprimatur.
Look that way. Bugs Henderson, when he passed away, and bless his heart, when he passed away, he had a PRS tattooed on his arm. You're not going to get any better than that in terms of legacy. He decided to help me. I really hope he's listening. I really appreciated it.
What is it about the SE line that you think makes it such a good line, whether we're talking about acoustics like the Angelus or the 7-string custom, that makes it good for the education market?
Well, if you're a guitar teacher, you need something the guy can play. The person you're teaching can play that works. Have you ever seen a student struggle on unplayable guitar? It's not pretty. It's not fun, right? I once had a guitar that was for the a youngster of an investor of ours, and it didn't play in tune, and it didn't stay in tune, and we hadn't made it, but I was pretty upset about it. I got it back and sent it back to the other manufacturer. This doesn't stay in tune. This doesn't play in tune. He goes, oh, we'll fix it. Which I appreciated. It was good customer service, but they should have never shipped it. And for us, look, it's got to have good action so it's easy to play. It's got to not fret out. It's got to play. It's got to have a comfortable neck shape. It's got to sound good. It's got to work. It's got to, it's got to be not too heavy. It's got to balance well. How's a kid going to learn how to play guitar? Or an adult, anybody, play guitar if the thing doesn't work? So I think when you say education market, I think you've got this entire industry of teachers and students, and for somebody to get an instrument to be able to learn on is really important. So, Brett Mason was talking today. He's using an SE baritone for recording sessions, much less the educational market, which you would say just be students. I think these things are professional level on up and down. Mm-hmm. So why is it good? Because I think people are getting their money's worth. I don't think it's okay to ship something that doesn't work. It just doesn't seem smart to me. Have you ever had a toaster that didn't work? It burnt one side, and you couldn't get it set right, or it popped up early or something. I mean, toasters pretty much. Some of them work and some of them don't. I don't think it's okay for somebody to ship a product that doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And if you buy a lawnmower and it won't start, what's it worth? What's it worth? Mm-hmm. You got to take it to the repair guy just to get it to work? It's not okay.
Of course, a guitar, it's not always catastrophic failure, like a toaster not working or burning up. Sometimes it's a setup thing.
Yeah, but don't you want to get it out of the box and it works? Okay, well, I mean, I have a real issue with anything that we do that doesn't work, literally, And we're really meticulous about finish problems, but I'd rather a little teeny finish problem than a problem that the guitar doesn't intonate or something. It's just not okay to me. Mm-hmm. Am I making any sense? You're looking at me like you agree, but
No, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
I just wondered how much of an issue it was with the SE line.
I'm telling you that it's good for the educational market because they do work. Every single guitar we get here in America, we take out and we check. We got guitar players playing before they go out.
Right.
And they're not just playing them, they're working on them. Mm-hmm. Every single one of those guitars is checked, every single one. Mm-hmm. So I think that's got some integrity to it. Look, the SEs are a much bigger part of our business than some years we anticipated. Some years we wish it was bigger. But I would say overall it's part of our company, and I think we've defined the lines beautifully between overseas-made guitars in which we taught them how to make them and designed them, and guitars made here. I don't think there's a blurred line. I think it's very clear. Sometimes you can't tell where something's made, And I think it needs to be very clear that this stuff's made in Maryland, this stuff's made here, this stuff's made there, but all of it was underneath our hopefully protectionist umbrella,
Right.
protecting the customer from getting anything but high-level quality stuff.
Yeah, and you have a place in the factory here in Stevensville that is carved out just for QCing.
Yeah, you could go down and interview those two guys. They're here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk to Dong and his partner tomorrow. They'll that's his name. So, talk to him. He's a good guy. Knows what he's doing. He's checked thousands of guitars. He'll tell you what's coming out of the boxes.
Sure, I would. I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, right, good.
Yeah, Paul. Any final thoughts? Either about the wonderfully successful event that you've had so far, or the new models, or the coming year, 2013?
No, I think the business is making good stuff. I'm pleased with the quality of the products. I'm pleased with I throw guitars at people all the time that are never checked, and they work. I do it with Michael Alt. I do it with Tony McManus. I did it with this SE thing you were talking about. If we've done our job, I should be able to take it out and everything will work. Believe me, I've taken guitars out of cases, they don't work. That's not okay. So I think the business is doing really well right now.
And just to add to that, I saw you do it personally. I witnessed you do it in front of several hundred people today at this event.
Yeah.
You'll throw people a guitar that's never been checked.
Never been checked. Well, it was
checked, but
it wasn't checked by the artist that I was throwing it at. That's right. And I had not checked it. That's correct.
Right.
But the people in our quality control thing had checked it.
Right. Yeah.
Fender had a rule in the 50s that if you wouldn't buy it yourself, don't ship it. I think it was a great rule, And I think sometimes the best way to go forward is to look in the rearview mirror. And I think that there's not anybody in our final assembly that would ship a guitar that they didn't think was really nice. I just don't think they did.